"There's a new king of the court in town." Applause. "Yeah," he declared, "this is my league now." He said, "MJ, you had your reign. Larry Bird, you had your shot. Now it's my stage." And we all silently bowed. LeBron James and Kevin Durant thought they were just joking around on a podcast, until their casual jab at Michael Jordan ignited a full-blown firestorm. And when Magic Johnson caught wind, he didn't stay quiet. Today, we're breaking down the explosive moment the NBA legend stepped in to defend Jordan's throne, the podcast clip that sparked a generational war. Some moments in sports history don't happen on hardwood floors. They don't involve buzzer beaters or trophy lifts, but instead sneak into podcasts, interviews, and casual convos where defenses drop and raw truths escape. On July 9, 2025, one such moment unfolded. A moment so charged, so deceptively harmless, yet loaded enough to shake the entire basketball universe and reignite a debate raging for decades. Kevin Durant sat in the studio with LeBron James and Steve Nash on an episode of Mind the Game, LeBron's podcast where basketball intellects break down the mental and physical grind of elite play. The conversation flowed naturally, as it always does with players who've chased greatness their whole lives. They were diving into the universal athlete question: recommitment. That brutally honest moment every pro faces after years of grind. Do I even want this anymore? And that's when Kevin Durant dropped the line that would light the basketball world on fire. Every so often you pause, thinking, yeah, 10, 12 seasons in, 4 MVPs, 4 rings, do I still want this? You feel me? You know how it goes. Some folks say, I want to try baseball and maybe come back. Others push 22 straight seasons. And there it was, a sly jab cloaked as philosophical musing. The reference was crystal clear to anyone with even a passing knowledge of hoops history. Some people say, I want to go play baseball. Only one man in pro basketball history famously left the game to chase baseball. Only one guy swapped his jersey for a bat and a minor league uniform. That man? None other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan, arguably the greatest hoops player ever. I don't usually trash talk, but that time, I had to. Because what flew under the radar in that moment wasn't just being tone deaf to Michael Jordan's personal heartbreak. What really got lost was grasping why MJ's career was flat out legendary. Sure, he retired 3 times. Sure, he took a detour to baseball. But he also stormed back to claim 3 more rings. He steered the Bulls to a 72-win season in 1995-96, still the loftiest regular season record in NBA history at that point. He bagged 3 more finals MVPs. He went a perfect 6-0 in the finals, never losing when it mattered most. You had to cover his back. You had to get him. So I threw it up. He scored. They countered. We scored. So yeah, we were trash talking. Eventually, we hit a little run. That, some people play baseball, jab framed MJ's career as somehow less devoted than LeBron's 22-year Iron Man streak. But it glossed over the fact Jordan's greatness wasn't about durability, it was dominance. It was about those moments when stakes soared and MJ refused to blink. As that July clip ricocheted across the internet, Kevin Durant had to weigh in, taking to X to clarify. MJ retired 3 times and still the GOAT. I respect that like I respect 22 years of elite play. My guy, it's fine to call that out. He also flexed his fandom, boasting $1 million stash of MJ kicks. But by then, damage done. Clarification came across as backpedaling, trying to seal Pandora's box after the chaos had escaped. A laugh can't be taken back. You can't erase a moment millions have already dissected. And who was involved made it combustible. This wasn't some random podcaster chasing clicks. This was LeBron James, whose career has been measured in MJ comparisons, and Kevin Durant, whose legacy is marred by ring-chasing whispers. 2 of their generation's elite, yet there they were, seemingly disrespecting the GOAT for a witty line and a chuckle. MJ, of course, fired back sarcastically. And if you ask me to pick between Kevin Durant and LeBron James, it's messy. One loves the Diddy parties, the other a snake with Twitter burner accounts. Stakes were set for something way bigger, because when you aim for the king, you better not whiff. In the following days, the league witnessed what happens when legends defend their era, values, and shared history with a man who rewrote the game. The confrontation was inevitable, and Magic Johnson was ready to remind everyone why some names are sacred. The firestorm, the legends strike back. Kevin Durant's comment triggered not just backlash, it sparked a generational war. The basketball world, long divided by the Jordan versus LeBron debate, fractured even further. Former players who had always stayed diplomatic suddenly felt compelled to speak, and they didn't hold back. Kwame Brown, the former #1 overall pick whose career never fully ignited, became one of the loudest voices. In a YouTube video racking up over 500,000 views, Brown tore into Durant and James with the raw fury only someone who lived through that era could muster. Kevin Durant, that statement was ignorant. Jordan won 3 straight titles. His dad was murdered that summer. MJ retired in October and pursued baseball, his father's dream. You smart idiots. Brown didn't stop there. He called out the hypocrisy of Durant and LeBron, mocking their career choices, marked by the very player movement older generations despised. Roadrunners, fleeing adversity rather than conquering it, assembling super teams instead of crushing them. A brutal indictment, not just of words, but of approach. Those boys hop from super team to super team trying to catch my 6 rings, but we all know it ain't happening. Gilbert Arenas, former Washington Wizards sharpshooter and equally sharp commentator, added fuel. Arenas reminded everyone that MJ didn't just leave the NBA for fun, the league forced him out amid gambling probes and his father's death. Context matters. Jordan didn't quit because he was tired, he quit because the crushing weight of fame, loss, and relentless expectation was unbearable. Charles Barkley, MJ's Olympic teammate and Comedy Meets Brutal Honesty analyst, weighed in. Barkley blasted the super team era symbolized by Durant and LeBron. I don't like guys who jump on super teams. MJ never joined anyone, he got beaten, got stronger, then destroyed them. Kevin, you haven't dominated anywhere else. Clear dig at Durant's 2016 Warriors decision, joining a team that had won 73 games, didn't need him, but suddenly became unstoppable. Unstoppable with him. Sure, Durant snagged 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs in Golden State, but whispers about legitimacy have trailed him ever since. Barkley's point was razor sharp. Jordan never took shortcuts. He never joined his enemies. When the Bulls kept losing to the Detroit Pistons, he didn't jump ship. He got sharper, tougher, and eventually annihilated them. That's the gold standard. In Barkley's eyes, Durant and LeBron have never truly reached it. I'm sure you got more out of practices than games, he said. You right, man. With 10 egos on that court, you grind every day, world's pressure included. Steve Kerr, current Warriors coach and 3-time champ under Jordan, offered a more subtle but equally piercing insight. Though his remarks predated the controversy, they landed perfectly amid the debate. LeBron's compared to MJ. He's not MJ. Kobe, same assassin mindset as Michael. Subtle, but devastating. Kerr wasn't dismissing LeBron's greatness. Everyone sees it, but greatness alone doesn't equal MJ. There's something else, that killer instinct, that cold-blooded hunger Jordan and Kobe shared, the drive to obliterate anyone in your path. LeBron, for all his accolades, operates on another plane. Social media only amplified the heat. A Yarder poll of over 10,000 showed 62% siding with Jordan fans, agreeing Durant disrespected MJ. The numbers told a deeper story. This wasn't blind loyalty or LeBron hate, it was about crossing a line. Grief and personal tragedy aren't podcast fodder. YouTube exploded. Videos titled Michael Jordan Live blasts LeBron and KD and MJ and Barkley destroy LeBron and KD racked up hundreds of thousands of views, despite MJ saying zilch publicly. The hunger for drama was so insane that AI voices and recycled clips were packaged as responses, faking confrontation. But amid the chaos, a more meaningful move was brewing. While fans debated Durant, one legend was ready to speak, not through Twitter or hot takes, but with lived experience. Magic Johnson had been watching, and he had words. The Lakers legend knew something younger generations missed. This wasn't about stats or rings. This was about respect. About facing Michael Jordan in his prime and understanding brilliance that made you question every basketball assumption. Magic had been there. He lived it. And he was about to remind everyone what made MJ untouchable. Durant still has 0 rings if you ask me, joining history's greatest super team just to snag one. LeBron? He bagged a Mickey Mouse ring in 2020 and another in 2012 during the lockout-shortened season. Magic's insight mattered because he wasn't just a peer, he was a rival. They clashed when everything was on the line. In the 1991 NBA Finals, Magic's last dance, Jordan's first crown. Bulls won 4-1. Guard changed hands. Now, over 3 decades later, Magic was stepping in to defend MJ from a generation clueless about what they were really talking about. The GOAT debate? Contentious, yes, but it was about to get very personal. Magic Johnson steps into the arena. There's a different energy when a legend defends another legend. It's a weight no stat sheet or hot take could ever match. When someone who actually battled Michael Jordan on the grandest stage stands and says, "This is the greatest player I've ever seen," it hits differently. Not speculation, not highlight reels, not secondhand chatter. They're speaking from scars earned in competition, from staring across the court at something beyond human limits. That's exactly what Magic brought when he hit the mic at InvestFest 2025 in Atlanta on the Earn Your Leisure podcast. Perfect timing, with the KD LeBron podcast fallout still echoing, debates about respect, legacy, and honoring the greats blazing everywhere. Magic was about to school everyone on how legends talk about other legends. When asked the question that's haunted basketball discourse for decades, MJ or LeBron, Magic didn't waver. No equivocation, no diplomatic hedging. Michael Jordan first, then LeBron, then Kareem. But the power of his answer wasn't just the choice, it was the reasoning. Magic didn't drop "MJ is GOAT" and move on. He painted a picture, told a story, transported listeners to when Jordan's genius was undeniable. "I'm always honest with myself. Don't get it twisted. I love LeBron." But when Michael took off with that tongue out, Magic's voice carried reverence, like recounting a religious moment. And in truth, it kind of was. He recalled a specific 1991 Finals, Game 2 play, replayed endlessly, yet never losing awe. Right hand, we thought we had him. Then midair, switched left, tongue out, glass, bucket. Nobody alive can do that. That boy is too bad. The play is legendary. Jordan driving right, trapped, midair switched to left, extending, banking it as defenders watched helpless. Physics defying, mind bending, human limit questioning. And Magic witnessed it, one of the defenders frozen by sheer genius. "I saved my three-pointer. That's one ring. And that one came because of a Draymond Green suspension." Looking at all that, Kevin and LeBron both have no legitimate rings. Jordan averaged 31.2 points on 56% shooting, including a 13-for-13 stretch. Not stats, declarations of dominance against one of the greatest teams ever. Magic, who'd battled the best, recognized it immediately. His defense of Jordan wasn't to tear LeBron down, at least not fully. Magic constantly acknowledged LeBron's greatness. "LeBron is a bad boy, too, but he's not Michael. Don't get it twisted. I love LeBron." Bad boy wasn't dismissive, it was respect. LeBron is all-time great, but greatness isn't the same as the greatest. For Magic, that title belonged to Jordan. This nuance often gets lost in GOAT debates. Magic wasn't saying LeBron's accomplishments didn't matter. He meant that factoring dominance, clutch, cultural impact, undefeated finals record, Jordan exists in a separate tier. LeBron has his own tier, his own legacy, undeniable, but it isn't MJ's. Magic's All the Smoke transcript with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson reveals more on his hierarchy of greatness. Discussing the 1992 Dream Team and playing alongside Jordan, Magic recounted why MJ commanded such reverence. "When that tongue comes out, it's over. Dude's about to do something." Jordan hit 4 straight threes. Magic said, "Oh man." He acted out the next play, stole the ball, came down the right, David Robinson in path. Mike cuffed it midair, kept looking, spinning, finishing with a 360. Magic said, "That's it. It's over. That's him." Then came the defining moment. Aftermath of Dream Team practice, we all bowed down. For words from one of basketball's greatest sums up exactly how MJ's peers saw him. This wasn't jealousy or bitterness. It was recognition of something otherworldly. Magic Johnson, 5-time champ, 3-time MVP, architect of the Showtime Lakers, acknowledged that Michael Jordan had reached a level demanding respect from everyone, even the legends who came before. That's what made the KD LeBron podcast clip so shocking to the old guard. In their world, the world of Magic, Bird, and Barkley, you didn't casually joke about the man everyone bowed to. You didn't laugh at references to his deepest personal tragedies. Respect was earned through dominance, and nobody dominated like MJ. Magic's comments exploded online instantly. Clips from Earn Your Leisure went viral, racking millions of views on YouTube and socials. Lakers Nation, Bleacher Report, everyone covered it, noting Magic's endorsement carried unique weight. He was both a Jordan rival and a LeBron teammate in LA's front office. The implications went far beyond GOAT rankings. Magic's defense of Jordan was a generational statement about values, about how basketball should be played and discussed. When he spoke about never wanting to team up with other stars, about competing against the best instead of joining them, he drew a clear line between his era and the modern super team NBA. The league wasn't like that. Y'all wanted to compete. I wasn't a guy like that. I never wanted to play with nobody but my dudes. I was good. Wherever I end up, that's who I roll with. This wasn't nostalgia. It was a critique. Magic was highlighting a competitive fire that defined his generation, the kind that drove Jordan to greatness through adversity, not alliances. Defending Jordan against Durant and LeBron's perceived slights was defending an entire basketball philosophy. Weeks passed, controversy simmered, and one thing became clear: this wasn't about a single joke or laugh. It was about how greatness is remembered, about whether legends deserve shielding from casual dismissal by today's stars. Magic Johnson made his position unmistakably clear, reminding everyone why Jordan's legacy towers over the sport even decades after his last ring. The GOAT debate will never be settled, and that's what makes it eternal. But when Magic, one of the few who competed against Jordan at his peak, says nobody will ever replicate MJ, that means something. That carries lived experience, scars earned on the grandest stages, witnessing brilliance that made grown men bow. LeBron and KD are all-time greats, their legacies are untouchable. But the next time someone cracks jokes about Jordan's baseball stint, maybe think about who's listening. Legends who faced him haven't forgotten. They never will. That's it for this video, but don't move. Tap any card on your screen right now, we've got plenty more heat coming your way.